This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to try to stay on track here and not go too far on tangents. So, you know when the media blows things up and makes it a really, really big deal? I'm going to talk about a really big deal from a couple years ago. This was huge. Just huge. Y'all remember this? Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh. Remember this thing that happened? I guess he assaulted her a long time ago and he really hurt her. It was really terrible. I'm sorry for whatever happened to her. Just awful. But anyway, we're going to go into what these people really are and what's really going on. And I'm going to show you exactly how to find it. I'm using Yahoo. And of course, we have to be careful about everything we see. But we're gonna get to the truth and talk about some really interesting things. So, Brett Kavanaugh went to Yale University. And he's the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. And he will be there forever. Forever. You remember when all this was going on? Oh, the crying, the drama. Sometimes I wonder if they were acting. So he went to Yale. He's from a prominent family. She went to Stanford, I think. Went to Stanford, but anyway. Wealthy bloodline people. And it was just so funny. It was like it was Oscar De La Hoya versus Manny Pacquiao kind of hype. I'm surprised they didn't make posters for it. All right, so anyway, I'm going to try to stay on track. Brett Kavanaugh, Yale Law School, real big deal. We're going to be talking about Yale. And I believe, this is what I think, you have to be connected and have a lot of money to get into Yale. Maybe you can study really hard and do really good and, work your way to the top, but I think this is all elite that get in there and get these positions. So he was part of this fraternity, one of the oldest fraternities, Delta Kappa Epsilon. And some of the notable members: United States Presidents Rutherford B. Hayes, Theodore Roosevelt, Gerald Ford, George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush. So Kavanaugh was part of this fraternity. And I remember when this whole thing came out and everybody's fighting about it and it's good guys, bad guys. And, people at work would be like, oh, did you see, she was so good, or wow, he really held his ground. And then I'm just looking at, maybe this stuff is really nerdy. I don't know. I like it. You can get really into it and see all these different groups. It is huge. It is huge. All right. So we do know that the Bushes were part of the Skull and Bones secret society. I can't find anywhere any evidence about Kavanaugh being part of Skull and Bones, but I remember people talking about that. I remember that was a big thing. And they're like, oh, he's really spooky. Skull and Bones. And it is pretty spooky. There's Skull and Bones. This is George W. Bush. They stopped keeping records about the members a little while ago. They used to keep pretty good lists, but not anymore. We really don't know who got into Skull and Bones. But these guys, and they're doing their thing, their party. I told you they have all kinds of weird parties and stuff. In a previous video, I talked about the Bilderberg. So here you have the Skull and Bones, Democrat, Republican, Freemasons. I believe that's Rothschild. I can't see it very well. United Nations. And all these little clubs, the elite. Oh, the parties. This is from the movie The Skulls. If you get a chance, you need to see this movie. Yes, it is Hollywood. It does have some information, and it kind of reflects what the secret societies are all about, or at least these higher up ones like Skull and Bones. You know, those are the real big deal. Those are the big boys that get into that group. But one really cool part about this movie is they show the decadence and the parties and the girls, and there's all kinds of other stuff and suspense. It's from the year 2000, and I loved that time in movies. Just really good movies back then. Anyway, we're going to try to stay on track. So we're talking about Skull and Bones now. And go to Wikipedia. Skull and Bones, also known as Order 22 or the Brotherhood of Death, secret society at Yale. But Brett Kavanaugh was not part of it. That's what the internet says. That's the official narrative right now. Wasn't part of it. You could talk about this stuff forever in the history. I don't know. Maybe I'll write a book about it one day. But it goes on and on. To some people, this might be really boring, but not to me. There's more than what you see on the TV. Bonesman rumors about the club. Rumors. The group Skull and Bones is featured in books and movies which claim that the secret society plays a role in global conspiracy for world control. There have been rumors that Skull and Bones is a branch of the Illuminati, having been founded by German university alumni following the order's suppression in their native land by Karl Theodor, Elector of Bavaria, of the support of Frederick the Great of Prussia, or that Skull and Bones itself controls the CIA. So that says rumors about the club. I don't know if it's related to the Illuminati, but number 12 goal of the top goals of the Illuminati: the men appointed will be bred and trained from childhood in accordance with their ideas to rule the affairs of the whole world. That was written back in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, who was commissioned by the Rothschild family in a plan for world domination. Allegedly. All right, list of Skull and Bones members. This goes way back. Lots of people. I'm going to try to see if I can find names I can recognize. Thatcher. Like I said, you don't recognize these people's names. You never hear about them, but they make all the decisions, own all the stuff, own all the money. You don't hear about it. And all the people they put on the TV are just ridiculous. Baldwin, Chamberlain, Whitney, Wetmore, Brewster, Thatcher, Baldwin Foster, Taft, Bowers. So this is way, way back. I'm going to try to go further. Try not to get too far into it. See again how you can get stuck and you can go off into on tangent and down rabbit hole. Crosby. Bundy. Harvey Hollister Bundy, an American attorney who served as special assistant to the Secretary of War during World War II. He was the father of William Bundy and McGeorge Bundy, who both served at high levels of government advisors. And that last name, Bundy, that is of one of the 13 Illuminati bloodlines. And you could watch that in My first video where I'm kind of slow and really boring. Trying to get the hang of this. Harrison, Taft, Gardner, Murphy, Harriman, Ketchum, Putnam, Gates. Artemus Lamb Gates was an American businessman, naval aviator, and Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Air in charge of naval aviation efforts in World War II. He also was briefly Undersecretary of the Navy. He was at various times president of New York Trust Company and director of Union. Maybe he's related to Bill Gates, but I don't want to look into it right now. You could look at it forever. Like who's related to what and what they do. Bannister, Buckley Bush, Jonathan James Bush there. Paul Giamatti. Look at that. Paul Edward Valentine Giamatti is an American actor and producer. He first garnered attention for his breakout role in Private Parts as Kenny Pig Vomit Rushton, which led to his playing more supporting roles such as Sergeant Hill and Saving Private Ryan. Excuse me. Anyway, so that's Skull and Bones. You can write a whole book on it. And this is from Wikipedia. My teachers in school said Wikipedia is not a legit source. But that's what they give you. That's what we're looking at. And they don't tell you everything, but we're going to try to figure it all out. Not all of it. We'll be here forever. Okay, moving on. Let's go back. Go back up. All right. Skull and Bones is one of the big three societies at Yale, the other two being Scroll and Key and Wolf's Head Society. So we're going to get into the other one. So Skull and Bones, that's the big one. Scroll and Key, one of the oldest Yale secret societies and reputedly the most wealthy. Each spring, the society admits 15 rising seniors. And pay attention to that number 15. They like that number 15. That's how many they pick. I believe in Skull and Bones picks 15 as well. You can count them out in the pictures. They like that number 15. And I know all three of these groups had beef. I think the other two broke off maybe from Skull and Bones. A lot of times these people within these groups, they fight and then they're like, well, I don't want to play with you anymore. I'm going to make up my own thing. And that's what they do. So I think in a way that's kind of what that is. Let's look at their names and I'm going to try to keep going and try not to get too stuck. Colgate, Gamble, Parsons, Sheldon, Proctor, Taylor, Jennings, Dilworth, Whitney again, and Ari Shapiro. You're not a Bonesman, right? I'm kind of tired. Making videos is kind of tedious. I've screwed up a lot and I've lost my work a lot. But let's keep on going. We'll show you the Scroll and Key guys. They're not as slick as the Bonesmen. Let's get a good big picture. I know I have a funny way of going about doing this, but it's been working for me, I guess. But yeah, anyway. Scroll and Key guys. Their daddies weren't as rich. All right, let's go on to Wolf's Head Society. There are not a lot of pictures of the members or what they look like, but this is a senior society at Yale University. Yale now counts upwards of 40 societies or similarly organized social clubs active on campus. Wolf's Head is considered a desirable one and relevant among current undergraduates. So this was founded after Skull and Bones. 15 rising seniors from the class of 1884 were picked. And that'd be cool if I had it all by memory. I could just like bust it out. I'd be really fun at parties. I don't know everything. I learn things every day. Members of Wolf's Head: Proctor, Cochrane, Ford, Goodyear, Morrison, Phelps, Pillsbury. Ducky Pond, who is that? Raymond W. Ducky Pond was an American football and baseball player and football coach. He was the head football coach at Yale University from 1934 to 1940 and at Bates College in 1941 and from 1946 to 1951, compiling career college football records of 52, 55, 3. So now we know who Ducky Pond is. I learned something new today. Flagstaff, Wales. All right. So there's Wolf Head. And then this is, we don't know a whole lot about it. This is the symbol. I can't find any pictures of people. Maybe them. I don't know. Could be. That's spooky. Lots of spooky stuff. But anyway, this one's pretty mysterious, but we're gonna try to break down some of the symbolism here. You can see the symbol going through the wolf's head is called an ankh, and it is inverted and is upside down. The definition of ankh is the key of life, and it's an ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic symbol that was most commonly used in writing and Egyptian art to represent the word for life, and by extension as a symbol for life itself. Just a side note, the Illuminati were named several hundred years ago, but trace their roots and history to ancient mystery religions of Egypt, ancient Babylon, and even Mesopotamia. That's from the book Folly Speaks, Breaking Free of Cult Programming. So they keep the symbolism. They like the symbolism. And this, the Egyptian stuff is in music videos quite a bit, like in Katy Perry's Dark Horse, and also Michael Jackson's, I can't remember it. But anyway, they use it in lots of music videos. They like that stuff. So in this picture, the ankh is inverted. And this is key of life when it's right side up. So when it's upside down, it's the opposite meaning. So possibly could mean death. And then the wolf, everything has little meanings. Wolf symbolism and meaning. The wolf spirit totem carries a message of discipline and order, like howling at the moon and greeting pack members upon return. Wolf spirits maintain many rituals. The structure and order of the animal pack has great meaning and ensues security and purpose for all its members. So this is a Yahoo search, and this is from alltotems.com is what I read from. And then we'll look at what it says. Wolf meaning in the Bible. This is from BibleStudyTools.com. Just reading these little quick things. Wolf, Heb, Zeb, frequently referred to in Scripture as an emblem of treachery and cruelty. Jacob's prophecy, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf, represents the warlike character of that tribe. I have a hard time reading Bible verses just because it's hard to read. I don't read them out loud a lot. But anyway, the wolf is a devouring animal, and it's a danger animal to the sheep. In the Bible, it shows different kinds of people. They are deceiving nature and destroying of the pure word of God. It refers in the Old Testament and New Testament. I am here mentioning 3 kinds of wolf. And then you can go on and look into the wolves and all kinds of stuff. And then at the end of the night, I'm like this. And then, yeah. But let's go back to your regularly scheduled drama or whatever it is next week. Oh, they'll do something with Trump. Or Trump is bad. Or good guys versus bad guys. Right versus left. Anyway. That is all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.